Welcome to this tutorial video on how to use the Spyder Forensics SQLite header parser. This Python script will extract all the informational entries that can be found in the header for an SQLite database. The file header comprises the first 100 bytes of the file and contains all the information needed to decode the database. Whilst all the entries in the header may not be important from a forensic perspective, some can be very useful during an examination. To run this script, you first need to install the Python Pretty Table module. This module allows the header information to be output in the console as a table. Pretty Table can be installed by running pip install Pretty Table in the console. Now we are ready to run the script. First, we will run the script with the H switch. This will bring up the help menu to display what switches are available in example usage. The I switch is required, which is where we specify the full path to the SQLite database to read. The O switch is optional, but can be used to output the extracted information in a CSV file. Let's run the script on the iOS Knowledge C database. We use the I switch to point to the full path to the database, and then we will output the extracted information as a CSV file. Regardless of whether you output the information as a CSV file, the header information will be output in the console as a table. The header entry column will give you the name of the informational entry. The value column is the information that is parsed from the header. The file offset and length columns tell you where the information was extracted from, so you can validate the information. The last two columns provide a description of the informational entry and on certain entries a tip for examiners for how to approach the examination. Let's dig into this Knowledge C database. The page size is 4,096 bytes, which is a fairly standard page size. The database uses write-ahead logging. Therefore, if a write-ahead log exists, it will contain data that hasn't been committed to the main database file yet. This means that the journal file should be examined as well to get the most recent data. Scrolling down through the table, we find information about free list pages. These are pages that are currently not in use in the database and could contain data from the previous use of the page. In this database, the first free list trunk page is on page 6914. At its basic level, free list trunk pages are essentially an index of free list page numbers, but they could contain residual data that can be recovered. The next entry tells us there are a total of 724 free list pages. This value includes both the free list trunk pages and the free list leaf pages. Some other useful entries from the header are those that deal with database vacuuming. Looking at offset 52 in the header, we can determine if auto vacuuming is enabled. When auto vacuum is enabled, free list pages will be truncated at the end of a transaction. In this example, we see the value is 44. As this is a non-zero value, auto vacuum is enabled. Therefore, free list pages will be truncated. However, we have seen that free list pages do exist in this database. This is where we need to take a look to see if incremental vacuuming is enabled, where only a set number of pages are truncated at the end of a transaction rather than the whole free list being cleared. In our example, incremental vacuuming is set to 1, which means incremental vacuum mode is enabled. This is the reason why we still have free list pages present. With this database, just by looking at the header, we have gained some valuable information to assist with the examination. First, we need to examine both the main database file and the write-ahead log to get a complete picture of the database. And second, even though vacuuming is enabled, the database does have some free list pages that we can potentially recover data from. If you use the O switch to export the header information to a CSV file, The full path to the CSV file will be located underneath the table. The exported CSV file will have the same information that you saw in the console and can be opened in Excel or a text editor. Thanks for watching this tutorial video. Visit the links in the description to get information about Spyder Forensics SQLite Forensics curriculum and to download the script from our GitHub page.